fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
They go play action here on first down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On first and 10, Lang. And that is incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Off the play fake. Lang going deep for Moncrief. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Dante Moncrief, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, The other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
Gano the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back to throw. Hayden. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Barkley. And an alley to run. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down. That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here, game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Time to look at the defensive starters for Green Bay. They're just below the cut line for top half of the league, 17th in the NFL against the run.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it because teams that are top 5, they don't stop running the ball if they don't get things done early.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
To throw on 2nd down, Hayden. And that's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
Hurry up, here we go. 319.
From the gun, Hayden. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Hurry up, here we go.
Looking to throw on second down. Hayden finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and, hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
And the sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board. I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss.
Let's go.
On second down, here's Barkley. And a short gain here, down to the 22. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So here's the kicker, Caleb Sturgis, on to try the field goal. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It sounds like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got a man, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Throwing on first down. Lang. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. A look at the starters down the defensive side of the ball for the Giants. And they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB. they'd easily move into the top 5.
Now let's go. 319.
To throw again. Lang. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Set. Blue landed.
On first down, this is Mgmfl. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
To throw on 2nd down. Lang. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. In for the score. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Gano now to add the extra point. Extra point try good by Gano. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Gano out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hayden. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Play action. Hayden. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. 1 quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. Plenty of scoring here already. Back to MetLife Stadium in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hey, now let's go. Blue landed.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Hayden, quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw. Hayden. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And the Giants send out their punter now. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that if they have to pump the ball, they've done so with that first run.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
And the key number on that play, 3.
Here we
Third
go.
play of the drive,
3-19.
3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3-and-out. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Set. Green.
On first down, Hayden throwing the out route incomplete. That's Shepard. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they're running right through it. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw on 2nd down. Hayden. And a loose football. And this is going to be Packer football.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series for those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
Operating from the gun. Hayden. Oh, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So as it turns out, a 2-play drive resulting in the field goal. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggle, still winning here in the second quarter. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Off the play fake. Lang. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down.
Let's go. Green,
From the gun, Lang.
39.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
All right, here we go.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw. Lang. The grab made by Curse over the middle. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Looking to throw on second down. Lang. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Packers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be third and forever.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Operating from the gun. Lang. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, Mike, they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Looking to throw. Hayden. He dumps it off to Barkley. So now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
From the gun, Lang. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
3-19.
Throwing again. Lang. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
On 1st and 10, Lang. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
This is McCaffrey. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. We'll start in the early window and begin up in Minneapolis. A tough one for the homestanding Vikings as they'll host the Washington Redskins. Then more good stuff to follow later in the afternoon. One good one being under the dome in New Orleans, where it'll be the Saints taking on the Tampa Bay Bucks. And finally, Monday Night Football. They've got a good one lined up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
All right, here we go.
To throw on 2nd down, Hayden. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. This quarterback now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green, 30.
Operating from the gun, Hayden. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
On 3rd down, it's Young, and he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done.
Now let's go. Blue Landy. Blue Landy.
A handoff to Barkley. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Hurry up, here we go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hayden looking left side. He's got it. Complete. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Now Saquon Barkley stays on his feet. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd down, Hayden being chased out left. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
All right, here we go.
A handoff, Barkley running left. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
The running game's played a huge part in getting him down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
All right, here we go.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Now, that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed. Because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Let's go.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already.
Now let's go.
Here comes 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Hayden. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown.
Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. Looking to throw. Hayden, that's caught. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This one taken just inside the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. Throwing on first down. Lang. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom,
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lang, and he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
He's got a man. It's Williams. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
McCaffrey. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Packers on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Let's go.
Back to throw. Lang. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I like the fact that they didn't overcomplicate things on that call. 3rd and 2. Just run the quick little hitch, which they did. Ball's out of quarterback's hands. And yes, indeed, they pick up the first down.
A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. On first down, Lang. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. They have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
That's interference.
Well, let's see who this is on. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
From the gun, Lang. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Hurry up, here we go! Green 39! Green 39!
McCaffrey following the penalty. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Here we go now! Green 30!
Looking to throw. Lang. Touchdown, Packers! Jermaine Kearse. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Gano for the extra point. Gano the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gano out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails, because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go now! 3-19!
On 1st and 10, Hayden to Barkley on the check down. Room to run past midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Green 39! Green 39!
Operating from the gun. Hayden. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's got this down to the 35. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Olivier Vernon in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage.
And he's going to go down again. Derek Barnett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And he gets it down to the 32. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
And there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. The field goal we just saw has us now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, Lang. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's taken down inside the 30. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Back to throw. Lang, quick hitter here. It's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down.
Let's go.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Packers on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Operating from the gun. Lang throwing the slant pattern here, complete. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Throwing on first down. Lang. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Let's go.
Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out come the Giants. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Hayden. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. The Giants on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Set. Green, 39. Green.
On first down, Hayden. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Green, 39. Green, 39.
On first and 10, Hayden. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. The Giants on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
From the gun, Hayden. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Off-play action. Hayden. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Set. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pretty little juke move there, but not a ton to show for it afterwards as he's brought down. And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett. From the gun on third down, Hayden. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. It's a gain of 19 down to the 19, and it's a first down. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. He's going to pick up a holding call.
Looking to throw. Hayden. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early.
False start, offense.
So from 2nd and 10, it'll now go to 2nd and 15. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15.
Let's go. Boom, landed.
Operating from the gun, Hayden. Throw left side, complete to Ingram.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. From the gun, Hayden. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And this is back down to a 7-point game. That will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. What did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick. But that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Set. Green, 39.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Fielded at the 20. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Set. Blue landing. Blue landing.
He'll look to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Packers, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Pulling up in that new toy, the wrist on that boy, rock star like Pink Floyd, waving at rude boy, I'm waving at you boy, ran off on the two like True Goy.